Masquera say, Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel, Zim Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana katika kutanga kuku hapa neno channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Kana chungwa garoka subscribe, don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasi Zimbabwe tadzoka ninyaya yemurume uyaroclaima kuti mwana wa the late former president Robert Mugabe uyo anozviti Gabriel Mugabe ninyaya dzake dzanga dziri kukoti uko kwaisika share ye-estate ya president ya the late president Robert Mugabe. Kwatiri kuita zviri kunzi withdraw his high court application muri Zimbabwe zvakonzesa kuti estate ya the Mugabe family iwanikwe isingadisturbwe. So pari kunzi pane zviri kunzi zviri missing court application yake, malawyers ake akakonzeresa kuti awanikwe vachi withdraw this case muri Zimbabwe. Nyaya yabuditswa nemaizimbabwe.com vachitaura ivo vachiti Harare remain claiming to be the secret son of the late former president Robert Mugabe, Gabriel Mugabe, withdrew his high court application seeking a share of the late leader's estate last Friday. The withdrawal, which came after intense scrutiny of his case, leaves the estate undisturbed. Tonderai's application, filed against Bona Mugabe, the executor of the state, sought to reopen the estate and include himself as the rightful heir. The application also named the registrar of births and deaths and the master of the High Court as respondents. His legal team, led by Mr. T.M. Zenda of Ungwe and partners, cited several issues needing rectification before resubmitting a revised application. These issues included a review of the Master of High Court's decision to proceed with the estate's distribution despite pending High Court cases. In his original application, Tonderai sought a court order compelling Bona to provide him with a copy of his late father's death certificate. This, he argued, was necessary to amend his birth certificate to reflect his father's identity. He claimed to have been born on April 20, 1977 in Chimoio, Mozambique, during the liberation struggle. He stated that his mother, Hilda Maeka, had a relationship with the late president and that their relationship ended after the bombing of Chimoio, with Mugabe believing Maeka to be deceased. Tonderai further alleged that his parents reconnected after Zimbabwe's independence and maintained contact, although Mugabe kept their relationship secret from his family. He stated that he had occasional meetings with his father, but that the relationship remained undisclosed to the Mugabe family. He also claimed to have been in contact with some members of the family, Mugabe family, including his aunt Laurencia Machemedze Mugabe. He added that his father's death prevented his formal introduction to the family. Tonderai presented DNA evidence to support his claim to paternity, stating that despite this evidence, the registrar of births and deaths refused to issue a corrected birth certificate. He also claimed that his attempts to obtain the death certificate from Bona's lawyers were unsuccessful. He stated that efforts to meet here personally to discuss this matter and request for a copy of the deceased's death certificate have been made several, but all have been fruitless. However, the court presided over by Justice Tawanda Chitapi found significant flaws in Tonderai's application. Mr. Addington Chinake, representing Bona Mugabe, effectively dismantled Tonderai's arguments, highlighting the failure to challenge the Master of High Court's decision within the legally mandated 6-week period. This procedural lapse rendered the claim legally prescribed, effectively barring the claim. Justice Chitapi also dismissed Tonderai's reliance on his surname, Mugabe, as insufficient to establish legal kinship. The judge stated that the adoption of a surname does not in itself confer legal status as a descendant. The court further criticized the lack of probative value in the DNA evidence and birth certificate presented, noting that they did not meet the standards required by the Civil Evidence Act. Mr. Chinake also pointed out that the estate had already been wound up and distributed, precluding any further claims. Given the insurmountable legal obstacles and the fatal procedural defects, Mr. Zenta, representing Tonderai, requested an adjournment to consult with his client. Upon reconvening, the decision to withdraw the application was made, with Tonderai agreeing to bear the cost incurred by the estate in defending against his claim. Justice Chitapa accepted the withdrawal, describing the case as fatally defective and legally incurable. The withdrawal of Tonderai's application brings an end to this chapter in the ongoing saga surrounding the late former President Mugabe's legacy. Amapotezero watu kwenye hii ni Zimbabwe. Silaziwe tumeona sei nyaya tuzeoza murufunga mu comment section. This is not the only win yati yaitwa nevana Mugabe muri Zimbabwe. Zakari another issue yaivanetsa yekuda kuexhuma kwaretwa baba vavo muri Zimbabwe nyaya dzaifambirwa naEdman vekwazvimba muri Zimbabwe asakaonekwa vachikunda zvakare. Funga zima yakabuda ichitaura zvakare pamusoro penyaya vachitaura vachiti the late President Robert Mugabe's children, Bona, Chatunga and Robert Jr. have successfully blocked attempts to exhume their father's remains after a court ruling dismissed a bid by a Zimba headman. Chinoi magistrate Kudzanai Maaso ruled in favor of the Mugabe siblings, barring headman Tainos Munongovere from inspecting the gravesite at the family's Kutama village homestead. Munongovere had sought an inspection in loco to determine whether Mugabe was buried inside a house contrary to Zimba cultural traditions. Mugabe, who ruled Zimbabwe for nearly 4 decades before being ousted in a military coup, was buried at his rural home in 2019. The family chose this private burial over the state's plans for interment at the National Heroes Acre, where a mausoleum had been constructed for him. The court ruled the headman's application defective due to the absence of a properly filed founding affidavit. Magistrate Maaso emphasized that an inspection in loco at a private property requires consent from the property owner to avoid infringing on their rights. The right to privacy is fundamental and must be respected. Entering someone's property without permission amounts to trespass, Maaso noted. The decision upholds the Mugabe family's wish to fortify the grave, shielding it from exhumation efforts and respecting their privacy. Mugabe's burial has been contentious, reflecting his complex legacy and ongoing debates about his role in Zimbabwe's history. Ndamapotezero wakaitwa nyaya iyi. Tingaziva kuti modzona sei nyaya yetu dzezvamurufunga mu comment section.